I'm out here getting a little exercise, you know, picking up some cans, beautifying the neighborhood. Not really. But I could say that as a con man to disarm people. Like, look, I'm just cleaning, right? Look how close I am to this person's vehicle. You know, a con man could do that and use these cans for public nuisance. But, anyway, you know, I go for walks to kind of like, it's so fucking quiet, and, you know, the distracting, like, noisy, needy attention-seeking people aren't around. But you do have, like, look, dude, I catch some of the most grumpy faces from people sometimes. It's kind of, nerve-wracking. Look, there's some freaking, some skis there. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but then again, I'm out here all stressed out and grumpy myself, so sometimes it's the mirror. And there's also, like, this concept of thought bombing, okay? Like, witches and warlocks and wizards can do these sorts of things, and magicians and hypnotists, but they just focus, like, put their intention, like, that you could just put it on a picture of a person, and they charge this image, this concept in their head to whip up energy that reaches out and attacks the person, like the object of their desire. And, you know, and it's like, at times I can find myself kind of like ruminating and thought bombing people. But, you know, and sometimes it's like, but when you're a freaking asshole and you're just a terrorist fucking like traumatizing people and just being a freaking total piece of crap, I mean, you're gonna get thought bombed at some point. It's like you just can't have your way with the world and do whatever the frick you want forever without it all backfiring on you, and you're actually catching your own karma's getting you in the way. You know, that thought bombing someone is freaking powerful, but what I've found, what really, it's like, alright, there's a kind of an offense, right? And there's a process, you know, you can hold it inside and just be and develop a grudge over it. And in a way, it's like a thought bomb, but I do know this is true. It's like when you hate somebody, it's holding on to frickin' poison, dude. And how much I would love to not have this poison. You know, because I've been struck by this poison. It's just people, man, and their betrayal and their narcissism. And, you know, and on the flip side, myself being freaking immature and all messed up and doing stuff to people, I have reaped some of that reap what you sow, so I understand what I'm talking about here. And to watch other people go through it too, and it's like, in a way, it's like, man, you freaking got it coming. And it's like, it feels like the spirits and everybody knows it. And it's kind of like a person, man, who doesn't realize that, you know, their cover's blown, but they're still playing along. But it's kind of like in Goodfellas when Tommy's gone now. No, you can't reach Tommy no more. Tommy's not here anymore. Something like that'll happen to any of us if we, you know, dabble in that open, like, rebellion. Because it's, you know, it's a commandment to love your brother. And you can't be freaking, like, angrily thought bombing everybody all the time and loving your brother at the same time. It's like you're either occupied with one or the other, you know. And it's tough out here because the conundrum is like, damn, they really did that? It's like, look, those type of situations in life that you really can put a chip on your freaking shoulder if you let it. And it freaking sucks having to harbor all that. Like, it is poison, man. And it hurts you and not the people that put it in you, man. And really the antidote is kind of just forgiving the situation and walking away from it. And just moving on and not letting it, I mean, the poison's still there. And you know, kind of like if you feed it, it'll grow. The more you feed it, you know, the more it contaminates. And it's, you know, like with this whole, the freaking, you know, the fucking whole police state, martial law, fucking NWO, all these oppressive theatrics and maneuvers politically, it'll give you a lot of that poison, man. It's a lot of it, and it's everywhere. It's on everything. I mean, it's the fear and the fear, and then the anger, man, that it's gonna generate. Because you know, after the initial shock wears off, I mean, you had this great reaction, internal reaction to all this fear, and it just doesn't go away. It turns into something else, and that's when the real shit hits the fan. Once people kind of snap out of the dupe, like, damn, we're duped. But there's going to be a prepackaged like enemy that's not the real enemy, that all this hyped emotion whipped up and manufactured through these stimuli and emotional triggers. You know, it's a pretty powerful crowd psychology type weapon, man. That's the whole purpose behind PSYOPs, is for that very purpose, that aspect of things. Yeah, man, it's like I can feel people thought bombing me quite often, but sometimes I practice. I make a genuine attempt to smile anyway, even though I don't, at the moment, I don't feel much like smiling sometimes. But that isn't the world's fault, even though to some degree there's parts of this world that contribute to the overall, that feeling of disgruntledness, and it you know, this is the real things that you have to deal with once you open that door, though. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to know the truth, man, it goes inward and outwards, man. Sometimes you got to get things revealed about yourself. Like, you know what? Yeah, I am a pretty traumatized motherfucker, dude.